Hey everyone, welcome to Zenny 62 this afternoon. We're on with Berkeley District and Councilmember Ben Bartlett. And Councilmember, how you doing?
Good, Zenny. How are you? Good to see you, man.
I'm pretty
Tell you,
well.
it's been a interesting time.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What are your thoughts about the George Floyd murder and the protests?
Man, well, so the George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd, uh, you know, happened as part of a continuum. You have this not, it's not an isolated incident. This is a pattern, right? It's gone on for a very long time. That seems to be without end. And so when this brother was murdered, that was just after the woman in Central Park had threatened to call the cops on the other brother and threatened all their lives in the park with that incident. Right after the brother in Georgia had been shot with a shotgun. Right after the sister, I think in Baltimore, had been murdered. All those bullets, right? So it was part of a long stream of events that all happened within this context of the COVID pandemic experience, which is impacting this same population more than anyone else, and now the economic pandemic rolling out from there, just all this pressure impacting us and everyone else. It looks like now too. So when the murder happened for me, it was that domino, I believe, that really set everyone off, and it's so tragic. It broke my heart, and it took me quite a long time to come to grips with it. And even now, I'm struggling to see the silver lining and see a path through this for our people.
How's Berkeley doing through all this?
It's interesting. Berkeley appears to be okay. A lot of community support, a lot of people out there making signs and wishing people well and making phone calls. A lot of pain. We also have a couple of national leaders here who are active in the fight nationally. Michael McBride out there, the Reverend, getting it done. So the city, Berkeley, has been active in articulating the resistance to the state violence, and that's something I'm very proud of.
You've been a big proponent of economic justice in a number of different forms, and I understand that you have an initiative coming up, I believe, in another this week, if I'm not mistaken. Can you clarify that?
Right. So this whole idea of criminal justice is wrapped up in the maintaining of the economic structure that we've inherited. And the only inheritance we've gotten as African Americans after generations of building and working, our only inheritance has been this system, this knee upon the neck. So this idea of economic justice is really just payment for services rendered to level the playing field in the cities and communities that we live in, because it's much harder to withstand the state when you have no resources. And I'll give you a quick example. This brother George Floyd, God rest his soul, he was murdered because he may have been passing a counterfeit $20 bill. Think about that. In a time where the resources have been snatched away and there's no money, and the government prints up $4 trillion, sends it out to everyone else but him. And now this concept of producing money from nothing, which is what we've been taught to do as people, that's our survival mechanism. We make something from nothing. There he was doing his duty in a time of lack, creating something, and was killed for it. And I want to say the difference between the poor and the not poor is that if he had been an executive at a bank, forging customer accounts by the tens of thousands to get bonuses and meet quotas, he'd be met with maybe getting fired, maybe a civil fine. The cops wouldn't even answer the call if you called them. If you said go down to the local bank and arrest this executive for forging accounts, he looks like you were crazy. And they certainly wouldn't kill you if you did get arrested. So when they get a call about this brother passing a forged document of minimal value, you get that full response. That's sort of, yeah.
I think you said that extremely well. I just wanted to add, if I've been in situations where people didn't have money, I gave them money, and it puzzles me why no one could have just said, hey, you know what? We're all having a hard time. Don't worry about it. Here's, well, I'll throw in 20. We'll help you out. A simple thing, you know?
Yeah. You know, it's just, again, this is a pattern, and, you know, we need a new contract between the government and the people. The people need to restore faith in institutions. We need to pull back the curtains and really rework what it means to be a member of the society. I mean, when you have fires in 145 cities, something is wrong.
On that, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know you want to talk about martial law, right?
I don't really want to, but I think we have to at least touch on it because I don't know, we're all reeling. What we just heard the president say. What are your thoughts on an unprecedented time in our history?
You know, honestly, this is like one of those teen dystopian novels. This is like a bad sci-fi movie. I don't know what to think. You know, martial law. You know, it's his penchant for raising the threshold and intensifying moments that are uneasy, that are precarious, when people are hurting and struggling. I just don't know if that's the right answer. There's got to be a better way, something more creative, something less fearful, less threatening. You know, these are new times. These are new times. So I'm really hopeful that people can be calm, keep it together, and think through a solution, because, you know, the evidence we see outside is what's happening inside us. So if we can get ourselves right, we can correct what's outside. But to do that is going to require a fundamental transformation of our society. And those who are on the bottom, beneath the knee on the neck, those people must not be on the bottom. This fairness must become the rule and not the exception in this country.
In closing, you've got another program coming up later this week, I believe, with Councilmember Lynette Gibson McElhaney of Oakland, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, yeah. This is we building on. We did some work together a few months ago regarding economic justice, and we had a forum. We had some smart people come share their ideas, and so looking at turning the corner and creating a lasting transformation of African American life and economic justice, which everyone will benefit from, by the way. You know, when you fix one, you fix it all. And so that's something to bear in mind. So this economic justice initiative is going to be a series of concrete recommendations that we came up with at this forum, and then calling for them to be instituted in this government. That's like a certain percentage of the GDP being spent for Black businesses. That's home ownership, converting all the public housing into condominiums. It's everything. It's you know, it's the fundamental shift in going from having less than nothing to having something, and operating from there as a full contributing member of this American economy.
Councilmember, thank you very much for your time, and hey, stay safe, and we'll see you again. And don't go anywhere, by the way. Hey, everybody, thank you for your time. Subscribe to Zinni62 on YouTube, and please bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. Thanks, Councilmember. Again, stick around.
Sure. Thank you.